Good Time Society. I'm Becca Scott, and today is a very exciting day. It is the first in a mini campaign we are doing to promote Epic Encounters. This is a one-shot in a box. They have many different adventures. I'm not gonna tell you which one we're doing today, but you can probably find out in the description of this video below. Because I don't wanna spoil anything for our fabulous players. And thanks so much to the sponsor of this video, Steamforged Games. Without them, this would never be possible. All right, without further ado, let's introduce you to our fabulous, incredible, talented guest here today. Tell us who you are and just a little bit about who you're playing. Let's start on this side. Please tell us your name.
My name is Carlos Luna. I am playing a level 5 forest gnome rogue named Dept. He's a bit of a burnout, and he's held every job in the town that he lives in, and yeah, he's a good guy.
Yes, we'll learn more about the village of Terahova in just a moment, but next up we have Sage.
Hi, I'm Sage Ryan. I am playing Evanora Dagenheart. Evanora is a fairy paladin and the self-proclaimed protector of Terahova. She is small and ready to fight.
That's the perfect catchphrase.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michels Bradley. I am playing Basil, and Basil is a white chromatic dragonborn and also a warlock, and my patron is the Great Old One. So I have moved to this little town to try to spread the news about the Great Old One and how great it is, and not in that voice though.
How great, how old?
I mean, I could switch. We were just starting, and I'm a very fancy little dragonborn, but this town is very simple is the word I'm gonna use, and I basically have the equivalent of, I don't know, do I even have a temple yet? No, I just got like 4 walls and some
We
tables.
broke it.
Yeah, we'll
We
see.
did do a session 0 that is on our Patreon. You can check that out on patreon.com/goodtimesociety, where you can see what happened to the temple.
This is great. So I'm searching for a new property right now, and that's me.
Yeah, I think the real estate agent is just a little owlin, like a very, very tiny owlin that's like,
I've been looking around for more properties for you and come up with nothing. But I'll keep looking.
Incredible, and I'm just completely homeless now.
and last but not least, Vince.
Hi, yes, I'm Vince Casso. I'm playing Swam, your level 5 orc artificer, who's just a big old teddy bear, friendly, wholesome, baking, cooking, tinkering, sweet boy who just wants everybody to have a good time.
He likes to bring the sweet in many ways.
Just liked all kinds of sweet.
Yes, well, these 4 haphazard adventurers are going to be sent on a little mission. But first, let's learn a little bit more about your village, your small village of Terahova.
Terahova.
So picture a big grassy knoll and a little apple tree on top, a bird chirping in that apple tree, and a little field mouse nibbling on the seeds of the fruit below. And then we pan down the sloping hill, and at the bottom,
What a
behind,
shot.
in the shade of this beautiful hill, is a dirty, sloppy, mud-covered town of hovels thrown together hastily. Not much resource, not much metal, not much gold for anyone in this town, but a lot of love and care and loud cacophony of noises. There's just one main road with slopping mud, and as the farmers and herders sort of guide their beasts of burden down the middle of it, that's Terahova.
Why is everything so wet?
That's a good question. I think the hill really puts it in shadow, so it never gets too much sun.
Yeah.
The mud just stay mud.
Is this the DnD campaign subtitled like the wet one?
The wet old
now.
one.
Steamforged Games.
wet
The great wet one.
The great wet one. We already got our title.
Solved
Yeah,
it.
done. All right. Yeah, you know, it's somewhere outside Waterdeep. They really don't even put it on most modern maps these days. And this is where many of you have lived most of your simple, pleasant, small town lives, which some dream of being bigger. Of course, Basil has seen the world a little more and is the most recent addition to the village. At the far end of this made road, right beside the blacksmith's hut, is a larger community building. This is the council hall of Terahova. They're very proud that they got this building a few years ago. And inside, Chancellor Flogwort is leading a small town meeting that was called this morning. You can tell us in a moment whether you're in there, whether you're somewhere else and we're late. But Chancellor Flogwort is a tall but hunched, bookish, hair and gone wizard. A rabbit person. Yeah. Tall, gangly. Leader of the village council, and stands and addresses whatever townspeople happen to be gathered. He also has very small glasses like most people in this town.
Listen, mine are big size, first of all.
We are a spectacle-heavy people.
I wear real glasses, though, guys.
I'm wearing contacts
And
with
I'm
big
mad
glasses. Which makes it.
You're wearing fake glasses with contacts underneath them.
I'm actually legally blind. Okay, let's continue.
Oh boy.
Carlos, is it weird when people cosplay as you?
Yeah. Cosplay as my stigmatism? Yeah, it's weird.
Flogwort needs his glasses too.
Flogwort.
Yeah.
That's our boy.
Didn't have a chance. Didn't have a chance.
He was
Flogwort.
elected, by the village council because nobody really wants this position. It's not. No one in the town really likes to speak in public, neither does he, but he does say, as you know, we suffered another cobalt attack last night. We've become accustomed to them eating our livestock and poisoning our water source with their detritus upstream. But they're supposed to be a migratory people, and why they have plagued us so... That's what we'd like to get to the bottom of. Now, many of you may have damage to your huts, and we will work to repair that, but I'm afraid we have some very grave news to report for those of you that haven't already heard. He looks to the council people on his left and right that are nodding. Igor Wolfbane, our blacksmith, was found slain by the kobolds this morning. His throat gone.
Igor.
He's holding back tears, you see it. And there's a hush that goes over the crowd, some murmuring. That's not all. Machiavello, the apprentice barbarian woman you all know, she seems to have been taken. Now, we will need to send our bravest, our strongest, our wisest to go fight back against the cabal of kobolds across the woods, and to tell them that Terahova will not take it anymore. The council has been convening to choose who we think is best, and, well, naturally, fast forward, they chose you. Tell us why and who might have elected you in the town to step forward. I know someone may have volunteered. Let's start with Evanora.
I absolutely elected myself. Usually when there are like city hall meetings like this, I tend to just like hover next to the council. Nobody asked me to do that. I am not employed. I am not paid for this, but I do just like wielding my battle axe stand next to the entire council as they give their speeches as the knight of the city.
Self-imposed security guard.
Exactly.
Can you describe a little of what she looks like as well?
Yes, absolutely. Evanora is a small creature. She comes in at about this big, approximately, is where I've landed on in size. She has hair that's kind of like dark shades of black with blues and purples going through it that kind of look like a night sky. And when she moves her hair, it sparkles just a tiny bit towards the ends of it. She has very traditional fairy wings that sprawl out from her back, and she typically wears a thick armor when she's preparing for battle. Underneath, she wears things that are very, very tactical and ready to fight. She wears like kind of a fitted bodysuit ready to go. But before she goes anywhere, like for instance to protect the council, she slips into her full tiny armor suit and wields her battle axe ready to fight.
Excellent. Now, flashing back just a moment to the moment where he says, we have compiled some people we think would be best to go into the Cobalt camp. Does Evanora speak up?
Evanora's already at the front there. She's just, of course I'll do it.
We were thinking older. You're very young.
But I already protect the council.
Yes, well, that's true. Yes.
So of course, it is my time.
Of course, we have one mighty champion. Who else will step forward or volunteer? And if you don't, well, the council will have to choose.
Well, and Swam will stand up, holding a little ballot to like nominate a hero that already says Evanora on it, which he then folds back up and puts in his shirt. Well, I suppose if you're going, then I suppose that I'll accompany as well, and I imagine these kobolds might need a bit of help.
I nominate Swam.
The Chancellor just gestures lightly towards you, and the townspeople rush and start handing you your plate armor and anything you might need. They're polishing your shoes. They're the old grandmotherly types are wishing you well and kissing you on the cheeks. And same goes for Evanora.
To describe Swam real quick, as he stands up, you see this roughly 6'4" orc who is nearly as round as he is tall, wearing a lightly frilled apron with bits of like butter and grease from cooking on it. A shemag's over his shoulders for warmth, and tiny little spectacles sitting on the edge of his nose that are clearly too small for his face, as the sides here like stick out to the side and around to reach his ears, with several extensions and a little bun on top of his head.
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about the bun.
That was two.
We can
That's
talk-
two.
We can talk about the bun.
Got one more.
Oh no.
Excellent. I love that picture. Thank you for painting it.
And yes, I think your stature would make you very valuable. Who else might?
And then you see.
Yeah, I think TT walks up and he has this note. He was supposed to work at the bakery today, and it just says like, talk to the chancellor, you're going on a trip. And it's like backpack, because he kind of works odd jobs all throughout the town, and the town people kind of just like, like they know they have to put him to work, but he kind of messes everything up. So they're all just trying to like, have him work someplace for the day. And he shows up and he's just like, I guess I'm going on the trip too. You guys picked the best of the best, so yeah, let's do this.
All the townspeople turn their heads to the entrance, because I imagine you stumbled in a little bit late.
He doesn't know what's happening, just like, we're going on a trip, right? Yeah, all right, okay, cool. And like, put it away.
And tell us what Taptoe looks like.
Yeah, I think he's kind of, his eyes never get like too wide, and like they're always kind of just like a little low. He's dressed kind of like a hodgepodge of all the different places that he's worked. You know what I mean? Like he wears the bottom part of the blacksmith's like apron thing, around his waist. He's always has like flour on him for some reason from the bakery. Glue from when he worked at the print shop is just like on his fingers. His fingers are always sticky. Like just whatever thing.
Yeah. This town getting a printing press was the best thing for them. That was huge.
And I think irrespective of anyone else's reactions in the room as he approaches, Swam looks very, very satisfied, very happy to be having him. And as you approach, oh, Mr. Toe, it's going to be great to have you.
Heck yes, Mom, let's do this up.
I can't wait.
And like he jumps as high as he
More
can to try to
shenanigans.
like high five him.
Whoop,
up
let me get
top.
down there. There we go.
There's some whispering amongst the council people, and they're like, just as long as it's not a day to shadow the council again. We can't do that. He broke 3 tables. I don't know how.
This town only had 3 tables.
right?
Our entire table budget.
Cut to, when I combine all 3 of these tables, they're gonna freaking flip out, man.
2 saws wielded.
2 saws.
Excellent. And then, last but not least, the town looks
The Chancellor looks around. You three young adventurers, yes, maybe you need a little more wisdom, perhaps a spellcaster, if we might, maybe someone newer to town?
And as you look to the back of this room, sort of where the entrance was, a little to the left in the shadows, you see a 6-foot-tall dragonborn with white scales glimmering and like perfectly like golden clothes, very meticulously groomed dragonborn warlock. And I'm putting up these huge signs in the back. I've taken over a corner of the council hall, and I've done a sign that just says, "The Great Old One saves, channel your powers. You too can have all of the powers of the old gods." And just, there's like pamphlets. I'm like putting things up, and I've accidentally knocked a whole bunch of pamphlets off the table. One of 2 tables left in the town.
Every seat has a flyer on it already. Like,
Yeah, and I'm kind of crouched in the corner like, are you talking to me?
Yes, I didn't say anything when you came early to set up your booth in the council hall, because we appreciate your vigor.
Well, I was just hoping that this town could learn about the good word of the Great Old One and benefit from his mighty powers, from the cosmos. And but I guess if you need someone to go and do a thing.
Yes, well, I think the council agrees we won't be learning or converting to much of anything if we're murdered by kobolds. So.
Well, you know that's a fair argument. Sure, and I guess my patron will grant me the powers with which to protect these other villagers, and yes, I guess I shall go then with these 3 beings I have met before. Hi, Baker from the woods.
we have met, that's true.
Yes, when you're always telling me to move to the woods, you broke one of the 3 tables.
I deliver flyers sometimes. It's fine. It's Evanora.
And it's Evanora, the small one,
Okay,
and
that's where it's unnecessary.
we're going to do are we killing things? Or are we saving a thing?
Oh,
What's the mission?
I imagine there's probably a peaceful resolution possible to this.
Evanora's like polishing her battle axe.
The Chancellor has already disbanded the meeting, asked if anyone else wanted to volunteer, and sort of frumpy small farmers that don't want any more in life except their farm to stay peaceful all kind of look the other way and at the ceiling and the floor. As they've disbanded, you've been given the blessing to go forth and represent Terahova and hopefully not die because you're their only hope. And they have ushered you to the edge of the village as you look upon the woods, and you know that the kobolds were coming through these woods.
That's where I live.
Yeah, do you know any kobolds?
I don't know any kobolds, but I know the wood.
Okay, maybe you'd be good at tracking where they went to, or did they leave like a note? Do you think they abducted this person for a
Flogwort,
ransom?
did the kobolds leave a note by chance? Any demands, a ransom?
I would say Igor's body with the throat missing was sort of a ransom note of a sort.
Was the body requesting something?
As far as I know, kobolds are monstrous creatures that always serve something greater than themselves. Individually, stupid, weak, as a group, terrifying.
Kobold
Vicious.
together strong.
Yes, so you know about them.
It's just like us.
Yes.
Anyway,
Well, you mentioned they took someone alive. They kidnapped someone, was that right?
we can only hope that young Mutter Bellow is safe and she can be recovered.
So perhaps it's not all bad?
So it's not a ransom, it's just they killed one person, they took another person, and now we are going to look for the person who might be alive.
Wait, they killed him?
Igor, I'm afraid, yes.
Our town is...
They found him on a pool of dried slag on the floor.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just totally trying to catch up right now. I just heard that he was missing his throat. Now, all of a sudden, this is just a lot to take in, that he's not alive.
You know what? Here. And Swan pulls out a little glass jar with a trifle in it, just like layers of custard and cake, and hands it to you. That should help calm your nerves.
Awesome. It's like really big in my because it's like oh sweet.
Can you roll for what would we think is preparing a confection?
Oh, I already had that ready because as an alchemist.
Oh, I just want to know how good it is.
Oh, like the taste,
Yeah.
sure. Well, I imagine I'm gonna get some crazy bonuses to that because all that I do. Well, I hope I do.
What?
I'd say, well, because I'm an artificer, I'm preparing this with my magical power. Can I make the case for an Arcana roll on that?
Arcana to bake?
Yes, I produce everything magically.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay, so no oven required.
This is a 16, so quite flavorful.
So you're telling me this is a magic trifold?
Yes, I wake up and they're there.
You imagine them, and in your sleep, your dreams produce through means of
I
Arcana.
don't question it.
Excellent.
I find trifles.
Like a cartoon.
And
Everything's just flying everywhere.
You get to roll a d6 for what that does to you.
Oh,
Excellent.
okay.
Well, d6.
D6.
Oh, D6. Got it.
Yeah.
Small.
6.
You, the drinker's body is transformed as if by the altar self spell. You determine the transformation caused by the spell, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
What was the last thing that Tapto was thinking about?
I was thinking about Igor having his throat cut out. So am I walking around like Igor with his throat?
So you
think
could,
so,
you could
yes.
certainly take on a visage like that for sure.
Yeah. Like I'm just standing. I don't even think he realizes it. He's just standing there, and he. As I'm breathing, like you just see this like wiggle a little, like. as I
Well-
exhale.
Tap. It's a choice. Not one I would have made, and I don't think you should have either. But it's a choice.
How long does this last, man?
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
It's truly horrible. Please be on your way. I can't look at my dead friend.
It's remarkably accurate as well.
It's pretty good, right?
Really?
Goodness, yeah.
Like quite terrible. I take a scarf
Yeah.
and sort of wrap it around your throat.
Thank you. We should head out.
Oh yes, I'll get to peeking around.
Excellent. Quick check. Sorry, I didn't check this before. Can you state your character's pronouns? Just want to make sure I get that right.
He, him.
I guess I'm a she, her. She, her. I don't even know.
Up to you.
Yeah, she, her.
She, her.
Him.
Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure I'm not getting those wrong. Great. So do you head into the woods?
Yes, absolutely.
I'd like to take a peek and try and find the path taken by these kobolds.
Excellent. Give me a survival check or nature. Up to you.
Survival or nature? I will definitely take nature. Oh, it's a good thing I have a +7.
But
I'm never
nat
rolling
one, a
that
nat
dice
one,
again.
though.
but it's yeah.
Well, technically.
You look around and you find one tree that is particularly entrancing to you, a great old oak. And as you circle around it, you can't look away. It feels like the tree is speaking to you. Yes.
You guys gotta get a look at this tree. This is some good stuff.
Yes, bring them. Stay beneath my shadow.
Everybody,
You
please,
say?
please approach this tree. I implore you to examine this
Who
tree.
wants us to go look at that tree?
I'm looking at that tree.
That looks completely.
I don't know
does it
how
look
I've
normal?
never seen this tree before.
As you're walking around it, you don't notice the root beneath you and trip, fall on your face.
Ow.
And you're gonna take. I should have my own dice handy.
So glad we're doing critical fails on skill checks.
Oh yeah, you take 3 HP of damage
Wonderful.
when you smash your face into the ground.
That's our tank.
No, I am not.
Swam,
No,
no.
ma'am.
That's a prank tree.
Oh,
Oh, you can tell him what I do.
wait a minute. It wants to shake my hand. I can trust it. Oh, God.
Poison sap starts to burn away your palm.
God, every time.
Don't smell the flowers.
But the rest of you look out into the woods, and it is very clear the direction from which these kobolds have come. They sort of come en masse. They've broken branches along the way. There are footprints all very clearly back through the woods. It's pretty easy. Don't even need to roll
I
to track
found them.
Amazing work. We're just all so proud of you and the teamwork that we are showing so early in this adventure.
All right.
Let us progress forward, I suppose. And I'm being very careful to only step in other footprints because I don't want to step in a puddle and get dirty. I'm having a hard time.
Walk without rhythm. Wrong franchise, I'm so sorry.
I'm fluttering ahead, and because I've put my armor on at this point to protect everybody, I have activated the little kind of like boost pack that I wear on my back so that I can lift the weight of my heavy armor.
Maximum
and
overdrive.
Also fly. So her wings are like doing the most. They are flapping so hard, but mostly it's a little like magical, almost jetpack item that's kind of boosting them to keep her in the air.
Yeah. Quick flashback. You and Igor in the blacksmith's hut.
My child, I know you are a strong fighter, and one day you'll need to both fly and be tough. I made this for you.
What is it?
Oh, well, it's one of a kind. Why would you even know? This is a wing enhancer. Yes, a metal plate to help your wings be able to lift more. It's aerodynamic, you see, and the physics are,
He says a bunch of stuff that makes sense.
Wow, that was physics.
That's mad smart, dude. Wow.
And she'll kind of strap it onto her wings and immediately take flight with it. And she just like looks around to make sure nobody can see them, and then like goes in and wraps her arms around his neck for a hug.
He's an elf, tall, burly, big mustache. He pats you, you kind of small on his shoulder. You fit the size of his neck.
Us Terahovans must stick together, isn't that right, my dear?
I will do everything to protect Terahova, I promise.
As will I. And I know that. I see it in you.
Flash forward.
In my experience, conflicts like this tend to come from places of resource deprivation. The kobolds don't have enough, and they take from those nearby. I'm sure there's a way we can see what they need and negotiate a peaceful resolution to this that won't come to violence.
But what do you think they need from our town? It's literally just full of mud
Throats?
and throats. So if they need more throats, there might be a problem vis-a-vis quantity, supply, demand.
I need my throat, man. I need it.
I'm not suggesting donating our throats. Perhaps there is a throat alternative we could provide. A synthetic throat, if you will.
I feel like we're getting closer and closer to the solution of us having to murder all the kobolds, which, fine, whatever. But
Well,
if they are so easy to manipulate, maybe we can move them to our side somehow.
I'm just saying the throat thing is on the table.
Okay, we'll put it on the list. Is someone making a list? Tap, please make a list.
Hang on. Throat. Throats, plural.
I don't know. We're not counting the throats.
It may come down
Let
to
us
more than
follow
one
the trail,
throat.
and I'm just hurrying after
look.
Evanora.
We're walking and talking.
Yeah.
We're forking it.
You see Evanora has stopped hovering at the edge of this forest because as the tree line stops onto a clearing, you see ahead of you a dusty, dry camp, even more rickshawed than your own village of Terahova, because these huts were not made with love in the same way that yours were. As you look ahead, you see quite a few firebrand kobolds. They're meandering around the encampment. You see some outside of each tent. Looks like they're standing guard. And you can see some seem to be patrolling the outside of the camp. They are medium size, kind of reddish orange in the hue of their scaly reptilian skin, long snouts with big teeth, kind of like if a lizard and a baby dragon had a baby. And they're not very smart,
So
as you know.
I understand they're very evil coded, but hoping this doesn't come to a fight. That said, if it does, Evanora, may I do something to your armor
Sure.
to assist? If you can just hover there for a moment. And Swam is going to go into the center plate, whatever's hinging the armor together, and pulls out what looks like a little piping bag, which has a bit of Italian buttercream in it. It's gotten a bit stiff. We've been walking for a while. Although the movement and the warmth of his thigh helps. Anyway, he's gonna go in there and just draw like a little happy face on the very center of the armor. And I'm using a magical infusion as a artificer to give you +1 to your AC, which powers up your armor.
Excellent. How long does that last?
Forever.
Excellent.
Until I die.
Oh,
Don't die.
Trying.
don't die, I guess.
Hardcore trying, my dude.
Wink.
Let anyone die.
What do the rest of you do as you look upon the camp from between the trees? And how would you like to approach, if at all?
You see Basil just start to take out pamphlets from her back about the good word of the great old one. Do you think, I was quite encouraged when the council leader said they were easily led?
Can they read?
I don't know. Do you think I should ask them if they would like to join forces with the great old one? Or is that a no?
Given the events that have just taken place, one can assume they may have a less than friendly reaction to our approach, even if they may be able to be persuaded later. Perhaps we take a more subtle approach into the town to begin with and try to understand them better.
So no.
You can also walk in, but it might be die. You might.
It might be die.
Okay, well, don't want to die today. Well, a lot of work to do still, so I will hold off until the moment presents itself, which I'm sure it will. Any other ideas? Sneaking, stabbies?
What is Taptoe thinking?
Taptoe is just thinking like, yeah, they're dumb. They're so dumb. We could just go in there and like take whatever we want from them. And I also think, oh man, because Terahova is the only place he knows, he assumes that the layout is exactly the same.
It's a McMansion of a town. Every time.
So he would assume it's like, oh, well, that's the bakery, and that's okay. Well, that's where the blacksmith was be. Okay, yeah, that's probably where they're holding her.
Massage parlor and
Yeah, that's where massage parlor, printing press, massage parlor. People look down on our little town.
Got all the fine.
Oh, Panera bread.
Panera bread.
Yeah.
We have to bleep that.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just joking.
We just got a bread. Unnamed bread establishment.
I just like making editors bleep
okay, sorry.
non-curse words.
You can pick two.
Okay, so what if you two watch the perimeter and we sneak in?
Yeah,
Hold that thought. Let's take a moment to play with our epic encounters map here. So outside of each tent, we have a kobold with a spear standing sentry, as best you can tell. This one's on the other side. Sort of, the entrances seem to be facing more inward.
Curious.
There it is. Beautiful. We've got a few more patrols kind of walking around. These two archers are circling one direction. And as you scout, you see circling the other direction two mounted firebrand kobolds atop their Ember Rage fire snakes.
Are they in front of any particular structure or building?
They are in motion. They are going the opposite direction. There's cattywampus and counter cattywampus. What is it called? Witter schnitzels.
What are any of the words you're saying?
Widdershims is a real thing that
I need to go.
clockwise, because what if you don't have clocks because you're Gen Z? You know what I mean?
what? Are you?
Widdershins is a real thing. We talked about it.
What
I
is
believe you.
happening?
This sounds like a bit, and I'm here for it.
made
Am I being
everything
gaslit? Should
all
believe
that
this is
up.
real?
That makes this up. Google it. We'll put a definition right here. Widdershins or shims or ships.
Whenever it gets cold out, though, I do get winter shins. I get winter shins.
It's a little ache in your knee.
Yeah. Oh, so
Anyway, one pair is going clockwise, coming towards you now, or soon to be once they make that corner, and the other is going counter Widdershims. I need to jump in here with a correction, everyone. So, Widdershins.
Widdershins.
Widdershins means in a direction contrary to the sun's course, which is considered unlucky. The opposite of it is desul, which is
It doesn't complement winter shins at all.
It sounds like a whole different
Yeah, a whole
concept.
different
That just
thing.
means of the sun or clockwise.
Of the
So we got Desul and Widdershins if you don't have clocks. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
You know, we learned something today.
Did we? But our clocks are based on sundials, so I guess it all is of the earth. Just like Christmas is a pagan holiday, you know?
Time
Yeah.
is a construct.
I'm gonna pick up a rock.
I said that for you. Yes.
I'd like to pick up a rock and say, okay, at the very least, we should perhaps try and get a more advantageous position on them. So, one moment. Okay, you can do it, buddy. And I'm going to enchant the rock with my magical tinkering ability with a dab of buttercream. And I'm going to enchant it to say a short message, which is once I toss it, it's going to say repeatedly, I am a non-violent but still very distracting person in your town. And then I'm going to try and
I'm sorry, I am a non-violent but still very
distracting
person in your town.
also assuming they don't speak common, but taking a gamble on that one. So I'm going to take that and chuck it into the middle of town, hoping to draw them more toward its center to see what's going on.
How are you checking it in the middle of town?
Are you hoping that they don't
With my arm,
see?
I'm going to have a throw.
Okay.
Or near the wood line. We're currently not visible, I hope. I'm intending to not be too visible.
I had said that you're currently behind the tree line.
Yeah.
You can see the camp, and maybe if the guards come, on your side, really close to where you are in the wood line, they might be able to spot you. We'll roll for
Right.
that. But you are throwing a rock into the middle of their camp.
Which only is going to make the sound once it lands, so I'd like to try and have that be like, oh, what's this over here? And they all get in there.
Okay.
Listen,
I
I can only tell you what I want to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you wrote this on the rock? This isn't a magically enchanted rock?
It's
like Buttercream?
enchanted. I spoke into it, and it is going to say that thing.
All right, do you need to roll to see if it's able to do that, or you just
No,
get
I
so
get that
many?
for free. Because
Oh, chuck.
I'm an artificer.
Or frizzle?
The chuck, however, if you want me to roll for the strength to throw it, certainly.
See, I'm not so concerned about how far you can throw it. It's whether or not the kobolds around know the direction it came from.
I mean,
And I think that makes it either a stealth or sleight of hand check.
let's see what we can do with that.
Yeah.
While he does that, I would like to Misty Step into the nearest little kind of like tent, essentially. Assuming that's probably this one right here to get behind a kobold and hope there's not one inside. Yeah, I know.
Absolutely. You can do that.
I'm ready if there is. My goal is to then, if they, the ones right here, start coming towards the rest of the group, I could charge out from the tent behind them and stop them from getting to the rest of the party.
Excellent. And what is the distance on Misty Step?
30 feet.
30 feet? Okay, great.
I'd like to make a case for deception, if that's fair for you.
Yeah.
As I'm attempting to fool the kobolds.
I believe deception works, yeah.
Okay, so here comes my hot deception roll. That's a 1.
I see how you rolled the nat one in real life,
no.
so you went for the digital dice to roll the nat one. Yeah.
Listen, I'm trying everything I've got. I'm fighting for my life right now. I have a total of 2, mind
Excellent.
you.
Okay.
That's merely for the throw. Thank you. Hey, let's just try it. Oh, whoa! Well, I used
Immediate
it now.
Success.
Okay, so you have Misty stepped into that hut. If you want to move yourself, we'll check on you in just a moment.
Hurt me.
As whatever happens to you in there shortly after, you will hear a little hubbub outside as the kobold in the second furthest away tent happens to be more on the perimeter. The patrols have not made it around to where you all are quite yet. They're heading in that direction, but one kobold sees you, and he walks slowly. He saw where the rock came flying out of the woods.
Which
So-
happens naturally occasionally.
Yeah. You will push that guy in your direction. He comes upon you
boy.
and wields his spear and he says, "Out of the forest, come!"
Oh, they speak common.
I push you aside. I move ahead. Hello, would you like to hear the good word about the great old one who will come and save us all and give us all magical powers?
my priest is all that I ever need.
And roll for initiative, everyone.
-1 baby.
Let's have you roll initiative, but we're not going to use it quite yet because we will come to you inside of the hut in a moment.
That's cocked.
Did the stone distract anyone else?
With that nat 1.
I still threw it. It wasn't as deceptive, certainly.
Is it just yelling right next to us now because you dropped it instead of throwing?
Well, to be clear, I didn't roll for the throw, I rolled
wait,
for the
is it-
deceptive quality of it.
Let me tell you, that one kobold seeing you is mighty unlucky. Because he got friends, but he's the only one that noticed that initial throw. What did everyone get for initiative?
Where did that rock go?
23.
11.
7.
19.
I wrote down these numbers and I didn't write people's names.
Taptoe, 23.
Swam is 7. I don't know what die to roll.
Basil's 19.
Balzels?
Basil's 19.
Excusez-moi.
Okay,
That makes me 11.
a very exciting moment for my first NPC initiative.
Thunk, thunk.
Can you roll my dice, please? Just this big one here.
Okay. Great. So, Taptoe is going to be up first here. What did you just ask me? Before we come back to what happens there, let's pop into this first hut. And let me see what's inside this Cobalt Hut. On a D8.
A D8?
That's how many kobolds are inside.
Oh,
of this
good.
show it.
As you misty step into the hut nearest you, you immediately startle in looking at the hut walls around you because you think someone is looking at you, a human, an elf. And then you realize there are no eyeballs in that face. And next to them, another face and another. You have found a museum of face skins in this hut. The flinched faces of a score of victims, each carefully peeled from the skull. But the skulls themselves are nowhere to be seen. The rest of the hut doesn't have much, just 2 pallet beds, a sharpening block with grotesquely keen knives arrayed on 2 small wooden tables. Tables your town would love to get their hands on.
No throats.
No throats and no kobolds.
But a lot of faces.
There, you do see the cobalt guarding the entrance that you couldn't see from the place where you misty stepped, and the tent flap is open. They've got their back to you and are wondering where the cobalt at the next tent has gone. They heard them speaking.
Can I hear the commotion outside at this point?
I think it's a moment before that commotion has begun. They've just seen the other cobalt walk past.
Okay, great. Then I am going to hold my action until I hear any kind of commotion, because if I can hear the commotion, they can hear the commotion. So I'm going to just like up against.
I wanted to get your initiative roll just so it was, we had it.
Yeah.
But let's say this is before initiative. You'll still get to take your initiative turn.
Great.
You have a moment to look around this hut.
Okay, excellent. In looking around, are there any faces I recognize?
Oh.
There is an old, wizened orc that you didn't know his name. You were pretty young when he went missing. But it might be Swam's dad.
God, no, come on. Cut the baker a break.
So I just, and I'm gonna press myself up against the wall of this hut, close as I can be to the flap opening, gripping onto my battle axe, very quietly listening for what's happening outside, because I know I heard the rock plan.
All right, are you on the ground or fluttering? Just for my picture.
I am on the ground.
Great. And now we come back to the woods, where a kobold with a spear is pointing it right in this proselytizer for the great old one's face. Is that the word I'm looking for?
That is the correct word.
Yeah.
I don't know where I pulled that from. Okay, Tappy Tap Toes. What would you like to do? 23, right?
Yeah. So I think Tepto has been trained by everyone in the town to always ask before he does something, because all he does is cause trouble when he tries to think for himself. So I want to turn to Swam and be like,
Cool.
hey, what do you guys need me to do? I can do it.
At this moment, I would advise you to look out for your friends. Should they be in danger, I have another plan. If you can just wait, that requires hopefully fewer rolls.
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it.
We have a plan! Like, he just yells it out.
But if you can cover Basil, then I might be able to do something.
I hear ya.
I cannot advocate violence.
Loud and clear!
Oh, he's
Yeah.
running.
I'm gonna need a quick roll for survival for that yell. Stealth actually.
Or stealth. It's,
Sorry, survival is what it would.
We will also take history.
Maybe
Stealth
handling.
for your survival.
It's important that you
Yeah, it's nat 20.
oh my God.
+7!
Yay.
I sound like the
Damn.
woods.
I'm gonna
We
say
need to meet in the middle somewhere.
I don't know how this works, but somehow the acoustics of this forest that you seem to bring about with you have encapsulated this small encounter that's happening. You are in a little tucked away pocket of trees. They're thick in between the rest of the Cobalt encampment and what is happening right here. So
an
lucky
anomaly.
you for rolling a nat 20 to counteract that nat 1. Yeah, so you're gonna hold your action?
Yeah, until something happens, he's gonna hold his action, and yeah, he's ready to do something though.
Excellent.
The hard part is, like, he only knows stuff that he's learned in the town, and I guess he doesn't even know that stuff well, so.
You know
never-
things.
I've never been in a fight before.
You.
This is on the road. This is on the road, too.
I know, flashback.
I've never been in a fight before, man.
Taffy, you have something that none of the rest of us do. You are a jack of all trades. You've tried everything, and maybe you're not an expert at any of them,
No, none of
but
them.
you have a breadth of experience that many of us could only hope for. Embrace that. Use what you know, for it is vast.
As this is conveyed very quickly as the Cobalt with the spear.
Well, that was earlier. That was
Thank
Yeah.
you. Wields back and says,
Oh, come with me. I'm gonna throw you in the pit. The priest of the bloody tongue will be so pleased with Widget.
Basil, he wants your throat.
I don't appreciate people going about and talking about the false gods, and you see Basil's eyes kind of turn black a little, and it's my turn, right?
yes.
And I open my mouth and do cold breath.
Did we join a cult?
Do you want to?
Anything is possible. Do you want to join my cult now? I've got these nice pliers. Okay, I'm going to do that. So they need to make a dex save of 12, please.
Ooh.
It's 30 feet range.
Dex.
I will say I do like a step to get like next to. So we're not. Are we doing the same blocks or?
Are you sharing a square with me because you do not
Here.
fit?
I go here
And
I
large.
play this way. Okay.
Our beautiful map is for the camp, and we are just outside the camp at this moment, so dex save.
Yes, against the will, please.
I never roll well as a player, but
Yeah.
here I sit in the tall chair, and I got a 15. 17.
17. Okay, so you still take, I believe, half, right? Yes, half. Okay, and that's 2d10s.
D10s are great.
I always forget what they look like.
I
every
believe in you,
single time.
Basil.
5 plus 6 is 11, so half of that, 5-ish damage of cold damage.
Ish.
You, the priest of the bloody tongue, will be so pleased with Widget.
And he rears back the spear, reaches to stab you with all his might as you breathe cold breath upon him, and he is completely frozen in place. You have immobilized this cobalt as you see its eyes look right at you. They blink one more time, and then they freeze over too.
Oh, this poor thing.
It was this was a naysayer against the Great One, so I don't really feel bad about this. And I use my bonus action to do a telekinetic shove to like shove the frozen kobold over.
As you do, it shatters into a million tiny pieces.
I'd like to also flavor that if possible, that I'm going to try and I'm reaching to try and help either position him more safely or thaw him out, and then he tips over and falls, so I think I did it.
That's what becomes of those who don't follow the old Great One. Or at least get in my way when I'm trying to talk. It's very annoying. Anyway, shall we continue?
I just start eating shoe buns.
Shoe buns.
That's how I deal with things.
Well, poor Widget never got the chance to shove his spear into you. His friend standing at the next tent, though, could see that he walked up and went to take his place guard at this next tent. Evanora, you notice this kobold at the door of your tent has moved away, but each of you breathe a sigh of relief for now, for as you listen, you don't seem to hear any kobolds that were alerted. Luckily, someone is very stealthy around here.
Has anyone seen Evie?
No, I think she transported herself inside that hut a while ago.
Hey, Snack. And Swam turns over his shoulder, and you see a little custard tart climb up onto his shoulder, little arms and legs, which is his homunculus servant in the form of a tart. Could you go make sure that Evanora is fine? And the tart chitters before jumping off and skittering across the ground in the search for Evanora in the Hall of Faces.
Excellent.
5-second rule.
Yo, dude, you could try to eat him, man. I'm not gonna stop you. It's a mad good-looking tart.
Yes, absolutely. Does Snack speak common?
Speaks whatever I speak.
Okay,
But he can't speak out loud. He just understands anything I say.
got it. Cool. Snack skitters on in. I think because of its size, it goes unnoticed. Evanora.
I feel like having been in the town long enough and generally as somebody who hangs out around the biggest guys in town, I've spent a lot of time to know Snack, so I just see Snack come in and I kind of know what that means. But when Snack comes in, I'm searching around the tent for any other kind of evidence of the person that we're looking for. Mutterbello, whose name I wrote down. So I'm looking for anything that might indicate Mutterbello being alive, any kind of stuff that they might have taken from the town with her.
Investigation check, please.
I'm gonna be so bad at that. And I didn't roll well either. So as a total for that investigation, that is an 8.
You look around and it's surprisingly clean on the floor of this hut. There's just the 2 empty bed pallets with some blankets, or they don't have blankets, some straw strewn about on top of it.
Yeah, they don't deserve
No,
blankets.
they
These
don't have
filthy
fucking
kobolds.
They're
In
trash.
Orc, I'll just look to Snack and I'll just be like, all good, go ahead.
Is that
That is what tarts sound like, yeah.
It gives 2 short crust thumbs up and gives off the scent of creme brulee as it skitters around.
I will follow Snack out of the tent and I'm gonna try, what direction is this guy facing as I peek out?
He's facing straight out into the woods in front of him, but also the patrols have moved. If you could shift these snake-riding kobolds around the corner there. There's another patrol of archers coming from the other direction.
So I'm poking my tiny head out of the little hut and I'm looking in both directions. I theoretically can see the watch coming, right?
You've got a line on the snake riding watch.
Okay.
The other ones are on the other side of a hut,
that,
so your view is obstructed of them. And anybody who's in the woods looking can see the patrols coming your way. You hear the 2 on the snake say, "Eggball, do you think I'll spear me a wizard today? You heard the priest say wizard blood is better for her spells."
Oh, they're Cockney kobolds.
I don't know, Pigeon, but I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't mind putting another face on my wall. And as they approach, and let's let's unofficially go back to this order.
Just fight again.
We're not exactly in combat because no one that is alive knows you're there. But Evanora, you're staying put, or you're just looking out? You said.
I was just peeking my head out.
At this point, Snack is just shadowing you.
Yeah, so I'm keeping an eye on Snack, and I've just peeked my head out of the tent. But seeing these, I do want to let them know. So I, not being able to see these, I'm gonna make my way, try and sneak around the tent this way, or like the hut rather, to get back to the group to let them know about this situation.
Yes, you are very tiny, and you go around the far side of the hut back towards your friends.
Very
but I will
tart.
need a stealth roll because the other patrol. Let's see how good they are at their jobs. Are coming towards you.
That was not bad at all, but I roll stealth with disadvantage because of my armor, so then, never mind, it doesn't matter.
But like, she's so small
Yeah.
that it feels like it should cancel out the disadvantage.
I like this.
Right?
Because
No, it's a 7.
Okay.
Looks rather.
The other one was a 17.
So I meet in the middle.
Do you have a bonus? Or
No, it's flat.
okay.
imagination.
No, I had
Do you count that as a bonus?
Right. I had to work hard to not get a -1.
Flavor-wise, the disadvantage is one of them has absolutely no clue and is talking about what he wants to eat for dinner, and the other
throat.
probably throat. I got me throat last night in the
You
rain.
nice
They're
frog
all
throat.
Cockney,
They're all-
Oh no.
and the other does spot you. So, you see that? Something flittered. This one has a different accent.
Where are we right now?
It doesn't matter. It's fantasy, Vince. All my accents work in these locations.
Makes sense to me.
Accents.
What? You don't think we could travel? Is that what it is?
Nice try, buddy.
I'm an exchange student, Cobalt.
I thought I was the only British, but I don't know. It's going on here now,
No,
isn't
yours
it?
is changing.
Now I'm in the head, listen to the hair, so I'm gonna talk like
I'm
this
gonna
now.
start doing it.
Alright.
I'm sorry, Cobalt, continue.
Okay, so one of these archers sees you,
Oh.
says, "Hold on, let me check it out." He runs in the direction following
Just eat
Evanora.
shit.
Yeah, he does. And we'll see if the other two hold their posts or continue on. But there is an archer that is approaching. It's arrow, I think because you didn't see it. I'll take a perception from Suam, Basil, and Tapto.
Suam?
Swam.
Did you just call me
I'm
Suam?
pronouncing all your vowels. I'm sorry.
All right. I mean, my perception is not dope. So let's have a
6.
go at that.
13.
Evanora, what's your armor class?
My armor class is 19 currently.
Okay, an arrow flies
+1.
past
Not too
you as you reach your friends, and it is Swam's turn to act.
Now, do I feel like we've been completely spotted? Like, am I locking eyes with Kobold right now?
You see a kobold archer walking slowly, peeling back, loading another arrow, and you can tell their eye line is going straight towards Evanora, who you do see coming towards you.
Okay, I trust Snack has Evanora's back. I trust the tart. I'm gonna turn to Basil.
There we go. Here
I'm
we go.
committed to doing it differently every time. To Basil and say, okay, and tap, cover Evanora if you can. I'm going to go try to find the hostage. If we can rescue her, then at the very least we need to make sure she's alive, and perhaps then we can deal with the kobolds peacefully. Listen, I'm coming around. Just give me a minute. And I'd like to break away if I can and investigate the town to try and get any clues to where the survivor might have been taken.
Sure. Let's see.
I rolled a 21.
You are able to sneak into the town around the hut.
Dun, 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 dun.
And you pass by unnoticed from the other patrol riding snakes. They are completely immersed in their
I'm
conversation.
very hunched over, just like trying to be very. I'm like two twigs, two little branches covering my head. It's dun, 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 dun. Very Kronk in Emperor's New Groove. So yeah, what do I find?
Oh, give me an investigation check.
I did. That was a 21.
Sorry, I thought you were being stealthy. That's
I can roll stealth as well if you
No,
need.
they did not perceive you. And as you look around, you see in the middle of the camp, kind of with a little makeshift fence around it, is an altar of sorts.
Oh.
This altar looks like, it's very large. It looks like it was hewn by craftsmen way above the pay grade of these kobolds. You can tell from the way that their huts were put together, you can see a forge in this corner, we'll call this north, in the northwest corner of the map.
Never eat shredded. Yeah.
Every time. I don't know what coast of America we live
Soggy
on.
waffles.
That makes more sense, actually. Shredded wheat is fine.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you ever eat that? Okay, I'm a waffle stand now.
Okay.
Soggy or not, I'll take it. So you see a forge. You can tell that this altar has been taken from others. Of course, you know, these kobolds raid. It's stained with blood of victims who have gone beneath, who you imagine to be this priest they keep talking
But I also believe the kobolds could have had the ingenuity to possibly construct this on their own and not simply have acquired it by theft. It's possible.
Quick interroll.
What?
Straight
Oh,
in roll.
yeah.
Just see if you really think that.
That I can definitely do. As you boys got some int. Oh, thank God. That was almost a 1. 17.
You say these words about you think they're smart enough to build this, and yet you know it's not true. You're just being polite in your own brain.
But also, I feel like I'm arguing with someone in my mind right now.
That's what politeness is. There are runes carved in this altar, and then there are additional, more crude runes that are carved on top of it that sort of look like a dragon.
All say throat.
They all say, and in fact, you do see a throat slapped upon the slab of this altar.
How would you
I
recommend?
would like to examine the throat. Can I tell if it's... What was the hostage's name again, if you'll remind me?
Mutter bellow.
Mutterbellow.
Yeah, that's a...
Mutterbellow. I'd like to find out if this is Mutterbellow's throat. With my precise culinary instincts.
She always wore a necklace around her throat.
Oh, hold on. I know the last thing she ate. It was a cupcake that I made for her. Can I...
Check the tube?
Why would it still be in the throat?
Any traces?
That's not how eating works.
Listen. I'm grasping at straws here.
Yeah, because you wouldn't, but also you wouldn't be able to see it. You'd have to like.
Hey, listen.
There's like a
No.
it's a tube-like
This.
esophagus is what you see as you pick it up and you look inside. Sprinkles stuck to
Oh
the edge
my
of the
God.
esophagus.
I need to alert my friends.
Oh no.
And as you do that, you hear a whimpering coming from nearby, and you look a little to the east, and you see a pit. There are jagged spikes emerging from around the edge, and you can see just in the first few feet that you can see down into this pit in the ground, big jagged spikes and glass and shards coming out from every which way within the pit itself. And you just hear, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I would like to peek into the pit.
Are they underwater?
I don't believe my eyes. Swam, is that you?
Oh my God.
You see
I've forgotten your name. I'm so sorry.
I know we've met before, but
A lot of people.
I can't remember.
What was it, a con? I'm so sorry.
Mutter, another orc, a barbarian woman with brown hair, kind of like, she usually wears it in like a 1950s curled out at the bottom.
Mutter bellow as I live and breathe.
It's a little disheveled. Her skin has kind of a green hue to it.
Then whose throat is this?
What? Don't make me say it. Igor. What voice was I doing?
Did you give the cupcake to Igor? I thought you liked banana.
I don't know if it's the right time to bring it up, but banana's not my favorite.
Oh my God, Mortabello. What's her name?
Mutterbella.
I'm so sorry, Mortadella.
You can call me Portobello. You know, Mutter has had
that's first name,
eyes
last
on
name.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, Mutterbello.
Okay, Mutters. Easier.
Mutter has had eyes for you her whole life.
Oh.
As children, she was just always kind of trailing you. She's a bit much. She's a little clingy. You kind of try to put your space, or you do what you want to do.
I will. Thank you.
I'm not gonna tell you your past relationship. You tell me. I don't know. I don't know what's happened between you and Mutter, but she looks up at you.
Where
with
are we
glowy
right now?
eyes.
What is this?
She's at the bottom of a pit.
Okay, great.
You're on top looking down, talking about banana cupcakes.
Snap back to reality. Let's do this. All right, I'm going to lower you a rope.
Sure. Let's see. So there is a kobold nearby. He's turned around, facing inside the hut, and you hear him speaking to a couple other kobolds inside the hut he's protecting. So his back is to you. Rope is lowered faster.
I'm lowering the rope for Monte Carlo.
All right. Yeah, Monte Carlo, Montebello, Mutterbello,
Portobello.
Mortobello.
Mortadella.
Is so grateful. And thank you. I'm a little scared of all this jagged glass sticking out.
Yeah, just climb slowly. That's fine.
Okay.
Take your time. There's no rush.
Yeah, Mutterbello is gonna climb out with you, and she's very heavy.
I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah. You're just holding the rope with your hands?
I'm grounded in the earth and have it slung over my shoulder. I'm trying to brace myself against the earth as she climbs.
Yeah, I'd say there is a little lip around this pit, so you can brace your feet up against it. Give me a strength check just to hold your spot.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
All right, just raw strength check? Well, I don't have
it could be athletics,
I don't have it anyway, so it's fine. 15.
Yeah, that's great. She's actually able to put one foot and then another. And she reaches the top. You can grab her hands and lift her up. She gives you the biggest hug and smooths her hair.
I'm glad you're alive.
Somehow to tell you how grateful I am.
I'm happy to assist however I can.
She kisses your cheek.
Oh, well, thank you.
And then she kind of looks expectantly 3 inches from your face. We cut to the woods.
Meanwhile,
the arching kobold has seen you, yells over his shoulder, "This way, intruders! We can take their throats!" Everyone is British if they're evil. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Steamforged is based in the UK, so that's for you, friends.
also, we're so sorry.
I'm not.
I just like to think that there's a table in the UK just doing American accents.
Yeah.
So,
Giddy up, hombre.
oh, time to eat some hot dogs.
And the same way that I muddle every region of England, they definitely put a little New Yorker in their Texas. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, just talking shit on you. Back to the game. Yeah, these 3 kobolds are all alerted, running. The 2 on snakes have not quite noticed yet, but they will continue their path and they will hear a scuffle in the woods if they get close enough. These 3 kobolds are rushing towards your spot in the woods. Taptoe is up first. What would you like to do?
Taptoe is covering Basil because that's what Swam told him to do. Just he's taking his job very seriously. He's at work right now. Everyone else is on a mission, but he just knows yeah, man, this is the first time they let me out of here, out of the town. It's the first time, it's a new job, and I gotta make something of myself. He's thinking of his whole entire family. They all have powerful positions in the town, and he's just this is gonna be my new thing. I'm gonna be the guy that retrieves people's throats from kobolds. I could see it now, and he's just staring at Basil the entire time.
Do what you love. Never work a day in your life.
Yeah, so he's looking at Basil, looking at them approach, and if they step to Basil, he'll make a move. So
you did see the closest archer shoot an arrow over Evanora's shoulder that just barely missed her.
So they are.
If that changes your feelings.
oh yeah, so he's standing completely still, and if he sees the arrow, he's like, oh hell no, man.
Oh, hell no.
I wanna kind of stay in the forest line until I have to actually come out, and I want to like sneak attack on him.
Sure, get some cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you advantage on any range attack that you would make when you're in the cover of the woods, and also you'll get a bonus to your AC of +2.
Death from above.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I want to sneak up and like and stab this guy, this little rogue guy, this little kobold.
The kobold that shot the arrow is the one closest to your party.
Descending from a tree.
Yeah, okay, give me a roll for it.
Gotcha. Let's see.
I was like, what?
So I get advantage on it? No? Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Yeah. Okay, cool. 20.
20 definitely hits, and you're stabbing with the dagger?
Yeah, and I think it's like a knife that he got from the bakery. So he's just like he's like, cut the loaf, man, cut the loaf. And he's just like
Scoring him.
I have a question. Is it one of those serrated bread knives?
Yeah, it's a serrated bread knife. This is not as fast as I thought it would be, man.
He did take some work.
Oh no!
So much back and forth.
Yeah.
I love it. Just use your rapier stats for your
Okay,
bread
cool,
knife
cool.
and roll for damage.
And make sure to add that sneak attack damage.
Oh yeah.
Is that 2d8s?
It's three.
At your level, yeah, 2 or
3d-
3d6.
3d6. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Which just adds an absurd amount of damage.
Okay. +4 to that. So what is that? 8, 11, plus 15, plus 4 is 19.
You didn't need all that. Your bread knife goes through this kobold, and it is like the size of his whole chest. You see, just innards when you pull the knife back out.
Oh, he's still sawing at him.
Oh no, 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 no. And then he starts another one because it's a loaf. Oh no, 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 no,
Just
no.
scored it 3 times, yeah. You remembered.
That kobold is down, but
Oh, he's going for the throat.
the spear-wielding kobold that was right behind him runs up on you, but it is Basil's turn.
I want to hide. I want to take the my cunning action and hide.
Excellent. That means you can use your bonus action to do that?
Yeah, I think so. Right?
It's pretty
Yep.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, rogues are dope. Okay.
Rogues are dope.
Do I see these two yet, or are they?
Yes, you can see them. They're on the perimeter. You can see through the trees.
They
They're on
haven't seen
big
me.
snakes.
They haven't seen me yet.
Those snaky boys.
They have not noticed you yet.
Okay. Well, I'm to assume that all of these people in this camp are naysayers, and so I cast summon lesser demons.
Excellent. You do overhear them. You know, people who like the great old ones, stupid, aren't they? I got a pamphlet, I can't read it, so I ripped it up and spit on it.
They must pay for the transgressions. I cast this, and I get 2 demons of challenge rating 1 or lower, and this is 2 death dogs, and I can get them out as far as 60 feet away. So I'm gonna put them right in front of them, basically like here and here, to take care of them, so we don't have to deal with it, and we can.
Do they
sneak
run
around.
out from you, or you can make them appear there?
I can make them appear 60 feet away from me.
Oh wow.
They get their own initiative, so they don't go now, but we should roll initiative for them.
And Snack, does Snack share your initiative?
I believe so, yes.
And they are going at. They rolled a 17 for initiative.
17. Okay, 17 for, what are you calling them?
They're just death dogs, the
Death
two-headed
dogs.
demon dogs with fiery eyes and a lot of slobber.
The death dogs are coming.
So I summon them, and I just sort of, I command them for the next turn, basically. They'll go when they go.
All right, they've got a 17. That means they're gonna go right after. And does that take your action to summon?
It takes my whole action. I am going to move, though, in the meantime. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm just going to start going towards sort of where I saw Zebeka go.
No, my friend, where'd you go? The kobold with the spear that is closest to Taptoe is going to roll for perception to see if he can see you while hidden. And he does not. So he's going to keep on running to where his friend step over the corpse and run towards where he thinks his friend saw Evanora go, like where he was looking. The archer follows behind as well and is going to move 30 feet, so 5 squares towards that corner. Unless this is great.
Yeah, no, they don't see Taptoe hiding. And I don't think anybody else is close enough to attack, but let's move the snakes just 5 squares down on their patrol there.
2, 3, 4, right.
And over here in the middle of camp, old Barkface was supposed to be watching the altar from outside that tent as his friends inside noticed, but said, Barkface! I need a different accent.
Loved it.
It's a family name.
Barkface.
Do you have more?
I could do Southern.
Oh boy.
Do it.
Classic bark face.
Barkface, I think you need to look behind you. There's something happening as 2 orcs are hugging aside the
wouldn't do it,
pit.
Barkface.
Barkface turns around and he is close enough. He is dual wielding a couple of knives and
A couple of knives.
he is, yeah, no, he's no joke. This is looks a little more intense than some of the other kobolds you've seen. This kobold champion of sorts is going to move up directly behind you and is going to attack with twin daggers.
Everything makes sense.
This is my one laugh.
14 to hit.
I'm gonna say that probably hits. Yeah, I have a 13.
You will take 7 piercing damage.
Something
as
bit me.
He says, righto, let me handle this. And just very casually double slashes at you with his daggers. You get it straight in the back. And Evanora. The dogs, the demon dogs get to go.
So they will attack anybody. It doesn't matter if it's me or anybody else, just so you're all aware. Whoever's closest to them who is non-demon, they will attack.
Well,
So their movement is bloop bloop. There we go. Where'd it go? I think it's 30, right? Sorry, sure.
Well,
40, okay.
I hate to be a stickler, but if you spawned them next to the snaky boys, and then the snaky boys moved out,
They can
wouldn't
move along with the snaky boys.
But wouldn't they have gotten
An
attacks of
attack of
opportunity?
You know what? The snaky boys would not have moved had they been bombarded with demon doggies. Yeah, thank you for that.
going back.
Let's go back. Technically, they were engaged in combat, so those baddies are going to get a roll on ya. Do you usually do the same to hit? Like, they have different sets of skills. Okay. These firebrand kobolds right in there, snakes come in, and they have got,
I'm assuming.
they're up there on spears, and they get 19 to hit.
The puppies?
These death
They
doggos.
absolutely get hit.
They went
yes.
from dogs to puppies when they get hit.
And the distance we hear like, like
Oh, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, that's gonna hit for 5 bludgeoning.
Oh no.
Each of them, they look at each other and nod, and they each stab the demon dog simultaneously for 5 bludgeoning to each. Are they still in existence?
They have their HP is pretty bonkers actually. It's 39, so yeah, I'm like, what?
Almost as much as me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, excellent. So each of them now have 34. They are plenty fine. These demons don't give an F. And now it is their turn.
Okay, they will each they get a multi-bite attack to each of these guys.
Are they going for the snake or the cobalt riding the snake?
Probably the snake is closer to their faces. I will do this. Okay, so that's a.
snake is good eating.
Oh my god, that's a 20 and a 23 to hit. We'll say this one. And then that is a 19 and 13 plus 4 is 17 to hit this other one. Does that hit?
All 4 hit.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let me do
This
the
is
damage.
violent.
1d6 plus 2
bonkers.
per hit. So
I
6
need D6s.
6 plus 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for the first one. Total damage.
Takes 13. And what kind of damage? Piercing?
Yes, piercing is a bet.
Puppy damage.
And then that's 6 plus 4 is
10.
10 for the second guy here.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh. So these Ember Rage fire snakes, they've got a pretty tough natural armor, and they are actually resistant to some of this piercing damage, so they'll only take half.
That's the only kind of damage they do because of teeth.
So one more thing is that you have to do a DC 12 Constitution saving throw because their bites are poisonous also.
Ooh. Okay, DC 12 Constitution for these snakes?
Right, but you said they can't get poisoned, or they
can be poisoned.
Okay, so DC 12.
Yeah. They are not resistant to poisoning.
Don't bite your tongue, snake.
One of them
Come on,
got a
snake.
17 and the other got a 9. So one of them does take the poison damage. Do you want the one to be poisoned that took more damage or less?
More.
Okay.
Fun.
All right, one of these snakes is poisoned and badly bitten into, and the other just suffered a big bite, but the poison didn't break through. Next up, Evanora.
It's finally time. So after I see TT run in to the forest, I am just going to flutter straight on and do my best to straight on to be a distraction for everybody, running right up to his face, and I'm gonna draw my battle axe and swing with both hands. And when I swing, it starts to glow in the same way that my hair sparkles a little bit with a divine magic. And I'm going to try, to cast a divine smite. That should hit, all things considered. That is a +4 to hit, so that is a dirty 20.
And who are you attacking?
I'm going for this one right here.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Fantastic. So that has a first level divine smite on it. So that is 1d10 for the initial hit, which is 8 + 1, 9 points of damage plus my d8. Boop. 9. That is 15 points of damage total.
15 more than wipes out that Cobalt. Guess what? You divine smite so strongly, even just the image of it shines a reflection that so brightly goes into the archer's eyes beside it. He's petrified and falls backwards on the ground because you overkilled his friend so hard. And the kobolds on that side of the map are destroyed. Boop. Now, Swam, you have been stabbed in the back. Your friend Mutter looks on in horror. Her eyes were closed so tightly she didn't see his approach. What do you do?
I turn around and I put both hands on the kobold's shoulders and trying to contain my frustration. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I'm going to say, you know what? I don't think you look very well. I think you should have a little rest. And I'm going to cast Ray of Sickness on this kobold.
All right, is that a save?
Yeah, so that is going to be a ranged spell attack. So I'm going to roll that presently. That's going to be an 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that's 2d8. Well, that's going to deal 3 total damage. Excuse me, I'm not done. Hang on. They must make a Constitution saving throw as well.
Okay, Barkface is like, whoa, this is really intense. He rolled a 4. Yeah.
On a failed save, it is poisoned until the end of its next turn.
Okay, gonna get a disadvantage on any checks. Steps backward and is like, not what I expected, just die.
I hate this.
He turns and looks to his friends who are behind him, waits for them to come up. As all of you that can see the center altar, see out from the hut where Barkface's friends were, emerges a gloriously ordained and ornamented kobold with a pointed crown and wielding a scepter. And he says, "Stop everything! We have sacrifices!" And that is where we will leave it for this episode. We'll see what happens next in the middle of the Cobalt encampment in our next episode. See you there.